Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Sorry for the hiatus, but we are back and we're ready to start making videos. At least once a week. And sorry for the noise in the background. The girls are in here and they're playing around. They probably saw that little puff fall off by her hair.
Oh, yeah.
So they're in here playing and we're still going to talk to you guys. We're going to basically do a life update. What's been going on since you guys last saw us, which was like mid-pregnancy, I guess. And so we're going to fill you guys in on the rest of our pregnancy, onto our delivery, and what's been going on since we delivered, because we both delivered.
Yes. Very exciting.
Very exciting, finally. But, okay, so we're going to start from like the mid of pregnancy and on, because I think it was like 20-something weeks when we... Yes? It's okay. So, the rest of our pregnancies. Tried to take it easy, but I really didn't take it easy at all. I was always doing something.
Oh yeah, you were. And I kept on telling you to rest, especially before Travis left.
So, yeah, I was constantly always doing something. I even moved 2 washers by myself being pregnant.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Even though she was not supposed to.
Didn't stop me. It's okay, the baby was fine. The rest of our pregnancies were okay. We did go through the Hurricane Harvey and the flooding, which we both left for that, and that was very close to when we were supposed to be delivering, so both of us, you were dilated already.
Yeah, I was already dilated.
She was already dilated. I was having contractions and pains, like back pains and lower pains and all these sorts of pains. And my husband was actually out of town when all that happened, so I was like double stressed.
Oh yeah.
Because I had 2 animals, 2 kids, and a car full of things to hurry up and get out, and...
But you got it done.
I got it done.
She was active, I wasn't. I stayed in the house majority of the time, and I slept a lot. I was really tired. And I didn't want to do anything. I was
always trying to make sure. I was between summer vacation, it being hot, and trying to get things done ready for school to start. And then as soon as school starts, we deliver. Right before, the same week she delivered, because they went back to school on Monday and you had her on a Wednesday. And so between summer vacation, trying to hurry up and get school shopping done, and also preparing for the baby the same exact time as I'm trying to get school shopping done. So it's kind of like, go get the school supplies on one side of the store and then go get the baby stuff on the other side of the store. Or order online, did a lot of ordering online. So trying to get the girls on a schedule. I had to get my kids on a schedule for when my mom came to town, because she was going to be taking care of them and I was going to be in the hospital. And I didn't know how long I was going to be in the hospital. So getting routines down, but Hurricane Harvey really threw everything off. And during Hurricane Harvey is whenever I started. That was it was late to August or so, and that's when I started having contractions from being so stressed out and doing so much, that my husband came back like 2 days before the mandatory evacuation was lifted for our area, and the day he came back is when my contractions started really bad. So I had to go to labor and delivery, and they were monitoring me there, and they were saying, you're having contractions, but they're not strong enough. They weren't strong enough, and they weren't consistent. They were sporadic. So they were like, okay, we can't keep you, but just drink lots of water, relax. And that, of course, I didn't relax, because that was the second time I went to the hospital for contractions. Because before that I went to the hospital to labor and delivery again because I was having pains, and they thought I had a bladder infection, and then apparently a bladder infection.
Okay, no more Kylie.
Apparently a bladder infection can lead to preterm labor, which I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
So
I learned that then.
Yeah. So they actually took me to the labor and delivery at a hospital via ambulance, which I was so mad about. I was like, just let me drive. I have a little goat down here.
I was wondering, I don't know if I ever asked you, how did you get home? Or how did you get back to your car?
Travis's dad took me to the freestanding ER that the car was at, and then I drove home. Yeah, so I was having contractions for a while before I went in, and
I didn't have contractions until...
Oh, okay. It's okay, Rosalie. You want to watch TV with Kylie?
TJ,
Yes.
put back on the TV for the kids.
Stop crying. Stop
No, in the living room.
Okay, Rosalie. Okay, shh. I don't think her crying is loud enough. Okay, Rosalie, stop crying, please. Okay. Rosalie, you're extremely loud.
Be quiet.
Okay, so where do we leave? Oh, you were saying you weren't really having contractions.
Oh yeah. So I didn't start having contractions until the night before my scheduled C-section, and they were really bad. And I could have swore we were going to the hospital that night.
She called me when she was in the hospital the next morning, telling me that I was about to bring the kids to you last
Oh
night.
yeah. And I can tolerate pain to a certain extent, and I know I can tolerate the contraction pains. That's why I didn't go anywhere, because I'm like, I got this. And I did get it, because it went away after a while when I started to fall asleep. But then they came back that morning, and I could barely walk, but I did it.
Our hospital bags.
I didn't really pack much. I
It
just
was our
packed.
third time around.
Yeah.
We already know what we need and don't need.
I just packed a couple pairs of clothes and baby clothes, and then just necessities.
Going home outfits for myself depending on the weather, because I wasn't sure if it was going to be extremely hot, because it was, or if it was going to be raining. So I was like, okay, I packed like a jacket to cover up. But and then I had 2 like breastfeeding nighty things, a robe, and C-section underwear,
Oh yeah. Mhm.
nursing bras. I think I packed 2 nursing bras just in case I leaked everywhere. I brought nursing pads, and I think I only brought 2 outfits for the baby. I brought one for a boy and one for a girl, and then an extra one boy and extra one girl, depending on how big or small the baby was, because I was huge and I had no clue how big the baby was going to be. So I packed 1 newborn girl, 1 newborn boy, 1 0 to 3 boy and girl thing. So I didn't know how big the baby was going to be, so I just did that. And then I did pack a little bit of makeup. But I didn't do my makeup until like the day I came home. I just literally I threw on like a very some powder foundation and some blush, and then I was done, because I was done.
I stopped wearing makeup overall because of the summer and
It was
just
hot.
Yeah.
Only time I actually wore makeup to go, like when I left the house, was if we were going to church. Was about the only time I ever wore makeup, but other than that I just mainly used mascara. But right before I had the baby, I had a friend come over and do my eyelashes, so I had eyelash extensions done.
A day before.
The day before I went to the hospital. So sorry, we had to take a little break. Somebody got hungry. What was the last thing we said?
I don't remember.
Oh, I got my eyelashes done the day before I went to the hospital. And then I was supposed to be at the hospital. Hi, baby. At, I think it was 5:30 in the morning. What? So I think I was supposed to be at the hospital at like 5:30 in the morning, and then my husband was working that night, and then I said, do not work any overtime. And he texted me at like 8 or 9 o'clock that night and said, sorry, I got the email, I have to work overtime. So he didn't get home till 4 o'clock in the morning, and we had to, was it 4? He got home at 4:30 in the morning, so he only had like 30 minutes to sleep, and so I had to drive to the hospital so he can sleep in the back seat, and then he slept a little bit in the room before they took me back.
I ended up driving to the hospital too, but that's so that my nerves and I don't think about what's about to happen and I'm about to be cut open and stuff like that. So I was like, I gotta drive.
I was extremely nervous. But my last C-section was a little scary.
The day of the delivery, I delivered on September 13th. No, it wasn't a Friday. Maurice was like,
It was a Wednesday.
Yeah, Maurice was like, too bad it's not a Friday. I think it was scheduled for 11 or 12 o'clock, and we went in about 9:30, 10 o'clock, I think, somewhere. My hours might be mixed up. But, so we went in there, we got the IV and stuff put in within the first 30 minutes to an hour.
They were very fast about the IVs.
Yeah. And then they do all the accent questions, signing papers, blah, blah, blah. We end up going back for the surgery, like at 1 o'clock.
Oh, so you waited a lot longer than I did because they did the process faster because they were supposed to, my C-section was supposed to be at, it was supposed to be at 7:30 and they got me in, like, they started right at 7:30 and...
My doctor was stuck in traffic. She came and apologized. She was like, oh my God, there was so much traffic out there. But we went back and then that's when I really got nervous because all this time I was never truly nervous or had anxiety about going back until they actually scrolled me back there. I say scrolled, but strolled.
I walked.
Oh.
I walked to the surgical room.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You walked?
They walked me to the surgical room, yeah.
Huh. Or did I? Oh, I walked. I did walk. Because I was looking around at everybody and I saw Dr. Alito. Yeah, I got scrolled out of it. That's what it was. Yeah, I walked because I was
You can't walk afterward because you have an epidural.
Yeah. So I did walk because I remember covering up myself.
Yeah, they gave me a blanket and...
Yeah, it was a blanket that I was covering my back up with. But anyways, so I'm back there and my heart rate is just skyrocket. And she almost thought she was going to have to just stop and wait another 30 minutes to an hour until my heart rate got down because it was really high and they were trying to calm me down. So mine took a little while because the uterus was thin and there was a lot of bleeding and stuff like that, so they had to go.
Her husband told me that they said that they're surprised that
it didn't rupture.
That her uterus didn't rupture or anything because it was so thin.
Oh, you know what she said? She said, because they knew that I was already in labor with the contractions and stuff. My doctor, she was like, thank God that you actually didn't go into true labor, like the water didn't break and the baby didn't start pushing, because it would have ruptured if the baby was already going to start the process of coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So later, or a day later, I had to get 2 units of blood. And
yeah, because I
really
stayed at the hospital with her that first night. She called me and asked me to stay at the hospital that first night, and she was on a lot of medicines, and you can just see she wasn't Shakara because of the medicines she was on. And so she asked the nurse to take, to lower the medicine or give her something different. But when I went to go see, like, she just looked pale.
Yeah.
She looked pale. She didn't look like herself. She wasn't feeling like she wasn't feeling like herself. And then I went back the 14th because I had to take kids to school and everything. Huh? Okay. I stayed there with her, so her husband can stay with the kids here. And then I went back the next day after the kids got home from school because I brought CJ to you.
Yeah.
I brought CJ to her. Yes. I brought CJ to her, and after I was there for a while, and then her husband left to take the kids home, and I was still there with her, and I was walking around the halls with her. And that next night, like just a day later, she looked completely different. Like she was back to her. She was alive. Back to her.
I definitely felt like I was dying, or I don't know what it feels like to die, or she just
she was drained of blood because she was also bleeding a lot. Like the nurses kept coming in, they were like checking her blood, and I remember they came and took your blood.
Oh yeah.
And you were just like you.
I just kept on falling asleep on them.
I know how it feels because with my 2 other deliveries, I had to have blood transfusions, and I knew what it was like to just have the life drained out of you, and you're not yourself, and you're literally not yourself, and the life is draining out of you.
And even though I was tired, they kept on saying, do you want us to take the baby? And I'm just like, no, leave my baby here. And even though
I was
the
first one that got pooped on.
Oh yeah.
Because I had to change the baby's diaper because she's stuck in bed. So I changed the baby's diaper.
And the draining, I just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So thankful for Melissa being there.
Yeah, I was changing her diaper. She just kept going. I was like, she's still going, she's still going. I was like, it's been a while since I've had a baby. What?
I actually forgot about diaper changes while I was in the hospital.
The first few poops are so disgusting. Ugh. Well, thankfully I got practice in before I had mine. But yeah,
that was really it on
you went home a day and a half. You were there the 13th. You came home on the 15th.
The 15th?
Yeah, then it was the next day, remember, because you stayed the 14th.
Or I had it on the 13th. Yeah, yeah, there we go.
I remember more than she does.
Yeah. for some reason, I can recall all my kids' birth, but not too much. I don't know.
It's because of all the drugs they give you.
Yeah.
So, and then you came home, and how was it coming home?
Coming home was a relief, but I really wanted to be in that hospital and get those people's help.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
But it was pretty easy coming home, sort of, kind of. And
what did you name the baby?
What did I name you? Ophelia. Okay, no.
There was a lot of arguing about this baby's name, okay, y'all?
Oh yeah, we could not name our child at all.
She was born without a name.
Yes. But we end up going with Olivia Bailey, and weighed 8 pounds, 13 ounces, 21 or 22 inches long, something like that. And before we left the hospital, she was 8 pounds, 6 ounces when we left the hospital. So.
Okay, so she had her baby on the 13th. Olivia on the 13th. I say her baby, sorry.
We have to get used to this. Or I have to get used to this name thing.
And so I had about a week and a half till I delivered, because I was delivered on the 25th of September. So I had some time to get ready, and my mom got into town, because my mom lives in Missouri. Hi, Mama. She lives in Missouri, so she came down. She got here Saturday, and I had the baby on Monday. So, yeah, she got here just in time, and then she left the following Sunday. So, I went to the hospital on Monday and got home on Wednesday. But as far as me, like I said, I was having contractions that whole entire month. So, like I said, my husband worked, so I drove to the hospital, and we got there. Our hospital is really not that far from here.
To me, I think it is, but to her, it's not.
Back roads. I got there like right at 5:30. Was it 5:30? It was at 5 o'clock. I don't know what time I was supposed to be there. It's all a little iffy. Because you're supposed to be like 2 hours beforehand.
Of the actual surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But like to me, okay, so I was saying that they came in, did all of my IVs and everything, and
you push record, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my husband was sleeping, so I was taking pictures. I did try to get a little bit of sleep before they took me back there, but like I said, it was happening so fast. My nurse came in and she introduced herself, and she said, we're actually going to go back there at this time so we can start the surgery at exactly this time. And then I went to go, they had me use the bathroom one last time before I went to the back.
Oh, really?
They had me use the bathroom one last time before I went to the back, and then as I came out of the bathroom, my doctor walked into the room. And so since I had complications with my last C-section and had to have surgery afterward and so on and so forth, we were talking about a PICO, which is basically like a vacuum for your wound. So it's like a wound vac. So we were talking about it, making sure that they had it already there for us in the surgical room, and I was talking to the nurse about it, making sure they had it back there, everybody was ready. So I walked back there with the nurse. My doctor, when I walked back there, my doctor was scrubbing. And so I walked in, they had me go on the table, and my anesthesiologist came and talked to me before I went in to the back. And he told me what everything that he was going to do. Of course, I already know, I've been through this before. So we get there, and I think what hurt me more was when he jabs his nail to know where he's going to put it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I freaked out thinking that was it. He's like, that's just my nail, calm down. But between my nurse and the anesthesiologist, that was the smoothest transition into like just relaxation.
Yeah.
And it didn't hurt that bad. Like it hurt, but it didn't hurt that bad. And I didn't jerk up like I usually do. Because like literally my nurse grabbed me, and I had a pillow right here, and she grabbed me and she's holding me down, like she's pushing me down. And so, and like my face was in her boobies. And that calmed me down. So she's talking to me. She's like, well, tell me about your tattoos. So I'm talking to her and this and that before I know it, I was over, and they're laying me down. And so this is the funny part. They laid me down, and I feel like I'm yelling, sorry. They laid me down, and I'm trying to talk over the phone.
I meant to turn it down when I was out there.
They lay me down, and then they're like, okay, my hand, you're going to feel my hand here, but I couldn't feel anything. And she's like, I'm going to put the catheter in. So she puts the catheter in, and she goes, you peed before you came in here, right? And I was like, yeah. She's like, and she looked, she's like, have you been leaking? And I was like, I don't really think so. I mean, I've had some discharge or whatever, but you know, because I didn't say this before, but the day before the kids went back to school after the hurricane, we went to the zoo. And on the way back from the zoo, we stopped to eat. So I was, okay, I left off saying that we went to the zoo, and on the way back from the zoo, we stopped to have lunch somewhere. And when we stopped to have lunch, we're walking through the line to, what? Bring it to me. And so,
It was because she's stopping and watching Kylie's phone.
And so, we're standing in line, you know, about to order our food or whatever, and I felt something, so like I ran to the bathroom, like I'm being pregnant, I'm running to the bathroom. I guess through all the walking at the zoo and everything that I had been going through and all that stuff, my mucus plug came out. So I called my doctor and I was like, oh my God, I've never lost this, am I gonna be okay? She's like, you're fine, just keep going about your business.
Yeah, I heard that people lose it like so far before, and you're still perfectly fine.
So I lost mine on the 11th or the 12th of September. Anyways, so I lost my mucus plug the 11th or 12th of September, and then I had the baby September 25th, so it was a while. So anyways, back to the surgical room. So she's like, have you been leaking? I was like, no, not really. I mean, I've had a little bit of discharge because I did lose my mucus plug or whatever. She's like, no. And then my doctor walks in right then and there, and she goes, Dr. Olude? And she, like, you know, they're looking, and she's like, I'm pretty sure her water just broke. And the doctor goes, I guess the baby is coming today. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That was going to be the baby's birthday. Mm-hmm. So they, you know, they're putting everything up, and of course, they start cutting before they bring your husband back. And so, of course, when Travis walks back there, I'm already cut open. And they was like, don't look. What's the first thing you do? You look. And so he comes in, I was like, my water broke. He's like, huh? I was like, my water broke. And so we're sitting there and we're waiting, and I kept feeling like they were about to pull the baby out, because I remember what it felt like when I had Rosalie. So, and if you guys remember, we didn't know what we were having. And so, anyway, so I was like, I think it's about to happen. Charles was like, okay. And he's got the phone and everything, and we couldn't record in there, by the way. So then finally they're like, okay, we're about to pull the baby out, Melissa, and they had to like push hard and do this. And anyway, so they're like, okay, we're gonna do this. So I was like jerking, because the baby, from being so low and also being up, like, it's a weird situation, I don't know. So they finally pull the baby out, and they're yelling, they're gonna yell this out or whatever, and they're like, oh mama, guess what, it's a girl. And then my husband's like, can you double check? And everybody started laughing, because before they started the surgery, they asked me what names we had, and everybody in the room wanted us to have a boy, because if it were a boy, we were going to name the baby Maverick Allen, and it was a girl. So they yelled out, it's a girl, here's Genevieve. And so we named the baby Genevieve Elise. And so she was 7 pounds 9 ounces, 21 inches long, and she has a head full of hair. So much. And I was like in shock. I was like, oh my God, I have 3 girls. Oh my God, I have 3 girls. And then because when I had Rosalie, Travis was able to bring her to me so I can say hi to her and kiss her, but then he had to leave. But they were able to finish. He was able to stay in there until I left the room, and he walked holding her back to our room. And I remember while they were in the room, you know, cleaning her up and measuring her and this and that, and he kept looking back to check on me, and he's looking at the baby and everything like that. And so he actually got to wait there. But I remember when I was looking over to the side of me, because I was looking to the right. This is my right? Yeah. I was looking over to the right of me, and I was looking over there, and my nurse was standing back here doing something, and she starts yelling, the doctor, your foot. Like, she started yelling, she couldn't get it out. She's like, the doctor's foot. And like, apparently I was bleeding, the blood was just like falling over on my doctor's shoes and everything. And I was like, sorry. Like, I can't help it.
What?
But
you never even told me that story.
Yeah, because I remember me and Travis talked about it. But okay, so I did lose some blood during my surgery, but after like my bless you. My recovery, I didn't actually need a blood transfusion, which was a miracle. The wound vac did amazing things, and my doctor overall, my first time ever having Anastasia, my doctor delivered me with Anastasia. I didn't care for her though. But my doctor this time worked miracles on me.
That's really good.
Miracles.
I was praying. I was nervous for her. After all the stories that she's told me, I was praying and everything.
I went to every one of my doctor's appointment, made sure that she knew I was nervous. I talked to her. I was very vocal about everything, and she's like, "We've got this." And she did good because I had the wound vac. I was in pain the first day. Even with the wound vac on, I was hurting, standing up. The first 2 days I was in pain, and I had the medicine, and I was like really out of it and everything. But because I was in the hospital alone the majority of the time, so I had to try to like get through it anyways. But eventually, with walking around and everything, and the pain stopped. Like I'm almost 4 weeks, almost a month since postpartum, and I have no pain whatsoever. Anyway, so I stopped taking my pain medicine a few days after I got home because it was making me too loopy and droopy, and like I would be nursing her and I'd start to fall asleep and I was afraid I was gonna drop her. So I just literally cut the medicine out because I was on Tramadol and the ibuprofen, I think so, and they told me to take both of those, however, like every 6 hours or so. But I just stopped taking it all together like 2 days after I left off saying that Anastasia's asthma had flared up and Rosalie had gotten a cold while I was in the hospital. So when we came home, I was extremely anxious about everybody being around her because immediately when I came home, my mother-in-law wanted to come over and bring her son, which is like 16 years old. So I was just like really anxious, and I would admit I was very rude. I was just like, everybody pulled her for a quick second and I took her into the room and I closed the door. I literally only let the girls hold her for like maybe 2 minutes each. My mom said hi to her, my mother-in-law held her, and then I took her into the room and I closed the door for the rest of the night.
Oh, wow.
And then my mom went home on that following Sunday, and around a week and a half from her being a week and a half old, I got sick with a cold. So I immediately started taking medicine. Of course, I called her doctor to see what I can take, and I started taking medicine, and I used a lot of Germ-X and disinfected everything. Okay, so I was saying that I got sick and I immediately started taking medicine, and there's actually this stuff, Lysol cleaning stuff that you put into your laundry. So, to disinfect your laundry and sanitize everything. So, but I guess disinfect and sanitize.
It's not Clorox?
No, it's Lysol.
Oh, okay.
I literally washed everything with it, just to disinfect everything I possibly could. Only thing is, Genevieve did end up getting a stuffy nose, and that's it, just a stuffy nose. So I just syringed it out. The doctor said she wasn't like really sick or anything. It was mainly, everything coming out from birth, So her stuffy nose has officially gone away, and she is now almost a month old. She'll be a month old this coming Thursday, I believe. I don't know what day of the week it is right now.
Friday.
I don't know the number. The 9th. Today's the 20th. So in 5 days.
She's 5 weeks old now, and these last few days have been kind of rough for me with her. It's like she's very clingy right now, but actually today she's been pretty okay. Through most nights she sleeps very good. For like for the first 2 weeks, I would have to go wake her up for her to feed, because if I let her, she would sleep all the way through the night, which has happened like once or twice, and she'd wake up like at 5 or 6 in the morning, because we are tired, so sometimes we just sleep through stuff. But the night before last, we slept from 12:30 all the way until 4 o'clock. So some nights are different, but there's other nights where she wakes up 2 or 3 times out of the night, like exactly every 2 hours or something. But
we're both breastfeeding, FYI.
Yes.
And it's funny to me because I breastfed Rosalie for 2 years and Anastasia for, I would say, about a month. And that's probably being generous. But every breastfeeding journey is different. And like the beginning of my breastfeeding journey with Rosalie was extremely painful and basically like raw nipples and everything, and this time around it was a lot easier. But also because I did stop breastfeeding Rosalie midway through my pregnancy, that I think that my nipples and my boobs were already used to the suction, you know, so on and so forth. So,
But yeah. And how's your
so Genevieve is an extremely good baby. This is basically all she does.
until another month or two?
She literally just, it's like hard to like wake her up and do anything like. So for like the first 2 weeks, I would say I was extremely, no, the first week I was extremely paranoid about her sleeping so much. I was like, she wouldn't really eat, because when she would get on and eat, she would only nurse through. She would only nurse for like not even, maybe 4, maybe 5 minutes, and she'd just fall asleep, and then she'd be asleep for so long. I had a hard time waking her up. When I go to change her diaper or take her clothes off to try to wake her up, she just sleeps through everything, so I was nervous. But I had it. She ended up getting a really bad rash on her butt.
We're holding the babies. That's what we're doing. Babies are sleeping.
That's all they ever do.
And so she got a bad rash, so I had to take her to the doctor to get the rash checked out. And we went for her 2-week visit. So I was really nervous because she was born 7 pounds 9 ounces, and by the time I took her for her, I think it was her 2-week visit, she was for her 2-week visit she was 8 pounds 9 ounces. So she gained plenty of weight within the first 2 weeks. And so I was like, I called my mom, and mom was like, well, all that sleeping is doing her good. And so this is literally the only baby I've ever had that's gained this much weight and gotten so big in the first month, because she started off in newborn, and in newborn clothes she still had a little bit of room, but now she's in fitting almost in 3 months stuff. Of the night she does good. There's times where I have to like physically take her out of because she sleeps in her bassinet. She does sleep next to me. Sometimes I'm trying not to do that. But
I do that. My husband sleeps in a whole different bed. I'm not a co-sleeper, but this time around, I think it's because it's my last child that I'm a little bit more lenient, because I was going in very strict. But I'm starting to be a lot more lenient and co-sleeping. Husband sleeps in a whole different bed.
I actually have to take her out of the bassinet just to change her diaper, and I'll try to wake her up. I'll try to wake her up just to try to feed her, because my boobs will get really, really hard, and she just won't wake up. But after like 2 weeks, we started to get in our routine where she would wake up exactly every 2 hours, or somewhat wake up, and she doesn't nurse for very long. Like Olivia nurses. Okay, so I was saying, if there's a lot of interruptions in the videos, it's because we've got our 3 kids, 6 kids, sorry. We have our 6 kids plus an extra one. So there's a lot of interruptions, so there's going to be a lot of cuts in this video. But anyways, I was saying that sometimes she doesn't really want to wake up for feeding, and no matter how much I try, like, she just does not wake up. But she's getting better at waking up she wakes up better at night than she does better, so she does better waking up at night than she does throughout the day, which I'm okay with, because I have read that their breast milk at night is a little bit different, although I don't really understand that. But she does nurse better at night. But like Olivia,
I think it's maybe because of the rest.
This is gonna be our class.
Yeah.
Resting.
But like Olivia, Shakara will call me, and Olivia nurses for like 10 to 15 minutes on each side, whereas Genevieve only nurses for about 7 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, on one side, and then that's just her meal. And then she'll wake up 2 hours later and nurse on the other side, and that's her meal. And I haven't been doing much of I was pumping for a while just because I was trying to relieve some pain because she was sleeping so much. But I don't really pump anymore just because we got onto a routine. As soon as she starts grunting, I start filling up. And I fill up a lot though. Oh, and but she's doing good. This is, like I said, this is the first baby I've had where she's gotten so big so fast, and all she really does is sleep. She's an extremely easy baby, and I'm glad that for the beginning of it, since this is when I'm learning curve with 3 kids, I'm glad that she's been this easy. And
Jessica.
I will say that Rosalie handled being a big sister very, very well. I thought it was going to be extremely hard on me.
I thought so too.
For Kylie.
For both of us.
Oh yeah. But they both handled it very well, from being the baby for 2 years to now being big sisters. They both handled it very well.
Yeah.
We make them feel involved.
Mm-hmm.
You made dinner?
Can I have some? I want pizza. I want burger. Oh, okay.
I want to be a kid. You're the principal.
She said you want to cook, Kylie?
No, you're not.
Go cook.
There's no foxes in school.
So, postpartum wise for ourselves, I don't have any pain whatsoever in my incision anymore. The glue's off. I'm pretty sure the stitches are almost dissolved. I honestly, postpartum wise, I'm fabulous.
Right.
Like, healing wise, I'm fabulous.
Okay. Thank you.
You probably haven't kept track, have you?
I was 170 when I went in. Yesterday I was 149.
I hate you. Cool. But yeah, so postpartum wise, I think we're both doing really good.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're both still learning breastfeeding because every baby's different.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still trying to figure out what's best for them and what's best for us.
And this is my first time I'm trying to actually fully breastfeed, at least for a year. But if I only make it to 6 months, then that's
a
better.
really good accomplishment to make it to 6
Yeah,
months.
because they start table food then, so I think giving formula should be fine by then. So.
One thing is that I'm not doing a pacifier this time around.
You cook?
With Anastasia, I did a pacifier, but I took it away around 5 or 6 months. With Rosalie, we did a pacifier, and hers was only for 2 years, but towards the 2-year mark, it was mainly only for like comfort, like at night, and she didn't really need it after that. But basically, this time around, I just don't want to do a pacifier because I don't need it.
And I went in saying I was going to use a pacifier, but my husband just kept on saying, give her a pacifier, or where's the pacifier, because he couldn't handle her. So I was just like, you know what, I'll just give her a pacifier if it helps him out. And she still doesn't really want it all that so often, or she only uses it to fall asleep and then she throws it out, spits it out. But other than that, I think eventually I'll take it away, maybe in a month or two, soon.
Because she'll still be young enough to where it won't be such a big problem if she's crying it out.
Yeah, because Kylie, I took it away around 8 months, and she didn't remember anything about it.
That's pretty much our life updates for right now. Not really much going on around here right now. We're just...
Maybe we'll take you trick-or-treating.
Halloween night, that'll be really fun.
Yeah. If we decide to do the trick-or-treating. I think we're still debating on it.
But we do want to start doing at least one video a week to try to ease ourselves back into it because we are still trying to figure out life with 3 kids.
And I like
technically
to sleep,
4 kids.
And she's always up, and I'm always sleeping.
I am always up. I'm always doing something.
Now,
again, sorry for the long hiatus. We are going to try to keep up with this, and we are committed to you guys. So thank you for our subscribers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our videos, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.